Nothing beats a pint of cider on a nice hot summer's day.
No, I'm still a kid at heart. I want my jelly.
What if we could bring them together?
So for this one, we're going to make a summer jelly using our cider, set with gelatin, and then suspend loads and loads of raspberries in the middle. Okay, to start off with, the gelatin. These are gelatin leaves, okay, and all we need to do is place those into our cold water. If you put them in one at a time, they don't stick together. Cold water means they begin to soften, and then later on they resolve a lot easier. In the meantime, nice hot pan, and if you can splash in our water. These have to be set measurements of liquid, otherwise the gelatin won't set it, okay, so make sure you check those out in the description box below. We need to turn it into a syrup, because all jellies are nice and sweet, or certainly the ones we're doing, so our car sugar goes in there as well. So if you can give that a stir. And then obviously we said this is going to be a cider jelly, so that's what we're going to use, a nice dry cider. This is 1 can. What we need to set it in is a large loaf tin. Or you can set it in anything, as with jellies, but we're going to do it in this so we can turn it out in a nice tureen. A little bit of oil in there, and that's just going to help loosen it out later on.
Oil it in a jelly?
No, oil in the tin.
Ah, that makes more sense.
And then we line it cling film. So what it does is it stops the cling film from sticking to the tin, and the cling film stops the jelly sticking to the tin.
Gotcha.
And just push it down into there.
So can we use any type of cider?
Dry cider, that's a fizzy one. You could use a cloudy one, but the fizz is good. Now that our syrup is boiling, we can take all of this gelatin, which is nice and soft now, squeeze out any excess, throw it in and give it a stir, Jay, and grab some ice cubes. So at this point, we want to begin to set our jelly and flavour it with the cider, but we want to cool it down as quickly as possible. Crack all of those into our mix, and that'll just speed up the cooling process. And then our cold cider, straight out the fridge, can go in as well. Put it in a jug to make it easier to pour. And then if you can put a layer about 1 centimetre or 2 deep into our tin. At this point, you can put the whole thing in and it will set. But what we want to do is suspend some raspberries in the middle. So a dozen or so we can get plenty left later. So that's about right. That can go into the fridge for about an hour to set up, and then we can add another layer. So as you can see, after an hour, our first layer has set up, so time to add another one. So that means we're going to have raspberries set all the way through the jelly.
So they're floating.
And then all we need to do is put that back into the fridge for another hour, and then we'll finish off with a final layer. So our jelly has had time to set up overnight now, but before we turn it out, we need to make what we're going to put with it. So jelly and cream, always a great combination. We're going to use ricotta cream. So if you put that in there, so a couple of tablespoons of icing sugar, just to sweeten it up, and some orange zest, so nice fresh flavours going in there. So now for the important bit.
We're going to turn it out.
We're going to turn it out. So remember, we lined it with cling film, so it should come out really nice and easily. You can see a good wobble on that.
That's why we did it.
So we'll turn it upside down and hopefully lift the whole thing off in one awesome cider jelly. I mean, that is a proper wobble.
Yeah, that's what you did. That's what you did right there.
So that's all of that gelatin in there that's doing exactly that. So, a nice dollop of ricotta on top.
Look at that.
Bit of mint. And there we go, set in a tureen. It's our raspberry and cider jelly, sorted. Look at that, raspberries right the way through the middle. Make sure you get a raspberry and some cider.
It's a proper summer's day.
That is, isn't it? It's a proper...
Nice bit of ricotta. Really citrusy and fresh.
I can actually feel the fizz from cider.
Eat it.
Oh, very mouthful. At some point, we should stop eating this, shouldn't we?
Probably should.
Because I'm feeling a little bit
Tipsy.
wobbly right now.
A bit wobbly. Is that just the jelly or the alcohol? Let's be fair, there is only 1 can between 8.
Oh. Well, you know how much of a lightweight I am.
If you're looking for more wobbly desserts, then check out the website. We've got our adult jellies, if you remember that one, but there's also hundreds of other recipes there, just for you.
Ah, this one. Nah.